Is it wrong to want to be married? That's a good question. Let's talk about it today. Welcome back, viewers, to the Felix Black Show here on YouTube, your number one source for purple pill content. Today we're talking about marriage and if it is wrong to want to be married. I personally don't think that it's wrong that you're wrong or that a person is wrong for wanting to be married if it's for the right reasons and if that person is ready. We have a lot of pressure from society, from K's Jewelers, from any jewelry store in America to get married. Our parents, right? I'm going to talk about love like our grandparents in another video because I think that's really an interesting point to talk about. We have a lot of pressure from society to be married, to get married, to have a family. And to me, I feel times are changing with modern technology, with different opportunities. I'm going to say this, and this is going to venture a little bit into the video that I want to talk about the grandparents' marriage. There really weren't any options, no ability to communicate outside of the city, town, village that you live in. So there was a desire to graduate high school and get a job and to have a family. I believe now with the internet, with the exchange of information, with the accessibility for everyone to meet, do different things, have different opportunities, I don't think marriage is something that a lot of people are looking for, specifically right after like school and graduating high school, college. There are people, who do that, but I think there is a gradual shift in that thought process. Only because there's opportunities for men and women, young and old, to build generational wealth, to build wealth for themselves, to be comfortable. And a lot of times it's just that you don't have enough, I don't want to say time, but once you finish high school, once you finish college, you want to get a job, you want to start working, you want to start building a life for yourself. I think a lot of people are searching for their purpose, for their meaning. So I don't think there's I believe that we're moving away from that, necessity to be married, to be with someone, because a lot of our old school cartoons, a lot of our old school movies have that little bit of, persuasion in them. But do I think a person is wrong? No. If you are absolutely ready to share your life with someone and understand what that means, meaning you're going to have to compromise, meaning you're dealing with an entirely different individual with individual thoughts, needs, processes. If you're ready to deal with that on the daily, relationships do not get easy after you get married. It's just not, you don't have to worry about anything. If anything, in my opinion, you have a person that you must make sure is good to go, is happy 24/7, 365. Being single, I don't care if you're happy 24/7, 365. It's just, I don't have that responsibility to you. We can grow to that, but once I put a ring on it, you put a ring on it, now we're bound to each other. So there is a responsibility there. And I feel, yes, you don't want to be walking around a house with someone who's unhappy and doesn't want to be there. So that's why I say that. I don't mean when I say make sure a person is happy, I don't mean that you bend the knee and please them 24/7, 365, but generally you want them to be happy with you, being with you, and being in the house with you, doing things with you. I mean, if you're married and mad at each other, it's a quiet house. It is quiet until one person asks, "Do you want to eat?" or "Did you eat today?" or something like that, and then break the ice. You know what I'm saying? But no, you definitely aren't. Nothing wrong with wanting to be married. There's nothing wrong with marriage. It's just we have to understand that marriage isn't for everybody. Not everybody is willing to make that sacrifice. I don't care who you are, and I don't believe anyone who says they didn't have to sacrifice that is perfect. No, I never believe that. If anything, if someone tells me they've never argued with their partner, and everything's perfect, to me, you're not in a real relationship. Somebody's hiding something. And that's not a bad thing to be in a relationship that's not perfect. It takes work. It takes, you know what I mean? We're not perfect individuals. We make mistakes. We do things. And like I said, you are now sharing your life with someone else, a complete stranger yesterday. You know what I mean? In so many words, then you build to want to be with that person. But at one point, you didn't know that person existed. So make sure that you have your ducks in a row. You are able to take care of yourself, men and women, that you have something that you can contribute to the relationship. Because contributing sex is not contributing to the relationship. I'll save that for another video specifically. Make sure you've taken care of your baggage, whether that is a baby mama, baby daddy, whether that is any debt that you have, any problems that you have, bad acquaintances you have. Make sure you come into that relationship open and honest and share what has happened or happening to you with that person. Because it's not fair to learn something 3 years after the fact that you didn't tell me in the beginning. I need to know that, because now things that you do affect me and vice versa. I need to be able to share that as well. Wanting to be married just for the sake of it because someone says that you're supposed to be is the wrong idea. I have a problem if you feel that way. But if you heard the idea of marriage and you like it, of course, there's plenty of men and women out there who want to be married. I feel like today people just want the title. Is there a sense of security with it? I mean, I guess, because there's a paper that says you are married to each other. I mean, I get the religious piece about it, but there's also, you can still leave. Like, people, a marriage is not final. I know we want to, no one gets married wanting to get divorced. Got it. But things happen. And just because we're married, we can always split up. It doesn't change the dynamic because you're not in a civil union, like living together. That paper does nothing but make it official. I mean, for like beneficiary reasons, I guess, unofficial. But I'm talking more from a relationship connection standpoint, not a legal standpoint. When you go to the courthouse, or when you go to the office to get the actual license, because even if you have a wedding, you will still get the sheet of paper from a normal office after you've submitted your paperwork, right? When you've done all of that, you still have to work at it. You still have the same temptations outside of it. You still have the same responsibilities inside of it. Whether you go to get the paper and you're now living together, married, or whether you're living together and don't have the paper, you still have the same responsibilities. If we've been together in a civil union, because people do this all the time, they've done this back in the day more often. They weren't officially married, they were just together. And so they shared everything. But, people didn't know they weren't married. They did everything like they were married, right? But there was no piece of paperwork that says that. So that's why I say that there's really no difference, in my opinion. If we are at that level to where we're together, you can't say, well, he can't just leave. Yeah, he can. I mean, yeah, she can. There's people who are married their spouses just left. It happens. It happens, unfortunately. There's the relationships where there is a civil union where the partner never leaves. They've been together for 30, 40 plus years. But no, just anything done with malintentions is wrong. Anything done because others expect that of you is putting yourself in a predicament to where you could end up not being happy. If you are happy being single, be single. If you're happy dating, date. Once you get to a certain point and you're no longer happy with that, your mind will tell you, you will get tired of it. I don't know. But if it's not in the cards for you to date or to be single, eventually you will know. Without mom, without dad, without brother, without sister, without cousin telling you you should be married with kids, you'll know. And if that point never comes to you, where you feel that way, that's okay. It's the same thing with children. Like, don't let somebody else tell you you should be having kids. Why? It's my decision. It's my responsibility, because no one's going to take care of them like I'm going to take care of them. Everyone's going to look at those are your kids. You decided to have them. No, but you were pressuring me to have them. I mean, but you still had them. You know what I'm saying? It's the same thing with marriage and with kids. Don't let people pressure you into thinking you're doing something wrong because you're not living by the societal norm. There's going to be changes. There's going to be, I don't even want to say you're an outsider. There's going to be some people who that's not for them and they don't want to force it. And I am okay with that. I'm okay with people living by their rules. As long as it's not hurting anybody else, just because everyone else is doing it doesn't mean you have to do it. Do what makes you happy. Your happiness should be number one. If that's being single, be single. If that's not having children, don't have any. As long as you're happy doing that. So that's my take on it. Is it wrong to want to be married? No. Is it wrong to want to have children? No. Is it wrong to want to be single? No. Is it wrong to not want to have kids? No. It's your life. We need to start living our lives the way we want to and just block out all the noise. That's called peer pressure. If you're over 17, 18, peer pressure should be non-existent. If you're not in middle school, right? With double dog dare you. We're not doing that anymore. You can't peer pressure me as a 35-year-old adult. Like, that's like, how weak-minded is that? Okay. Make your decisions. Be happy. Live the life you want to live. So tell me what y'all think. What's your idea on marriage? Is it okay to be single? Does everyone have to get married? What are your thoughts on marriage and what should people be doing before they decide to share their lives with someone? And what happens if someone doesn't want to do that? Like, why is that? And someone explain this to me. Why is it negative when a woman isn't married, when a man isn't married, when a woman doesn't have children, when a man doesn't have children? I know all cultures are different, but if we're having kids and getting married because someone else wants that for us, isn't that a bigger issue? Let me know in the comment section. This is Felix Black, your #1 source for Purple Pill content, and I will see you guys in the next video.